Look, I'm not pissed to the point where I'm annoyed and I'm going to call people out their names, or especially people that I love, like the person I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. She struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said. It was a cheap shot. It was not a basketball play. She should have been ejected, number one. Number two, there should have been a fine that was incurred thereafter. Number three, not to say that there won't be or hasn't been at this moment in time, I don't know of one. I know the team was fined for media availability purposes because people weren't available to talk.
Did you see what happened to Caitlin Clark during her most recent match? John Carrington struck her in the eye, leaving her with a horrible black eye.
She caught that fingertip in the eye or right around it from Carrington.
The entire WNBA is calling for justice against Dean Carr because of this horrible incident that happened during Caitlin's first playoff game.
Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted, has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dijonai Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye.
Numerous analysts have speculated that the WNBA may finally collapse as a result of this horrific occurrence.
She's going to face a level of racism from black players. She's going to walk into an extremely hostile environment. And she's going to face a level of hostility from lesbian players because she's not on team LGBTQ. She's a Catholic. She's got some boyfriend.
And to make matters worse, she finished the game with a black eye after she was poked by Dijonai Carrington, who tried to block her shot.
Let's take a closer look at what actually transpired. Caitlin Clark was severely jabbed in the eye by DJ Carrington during the first quarter of her first ever playoff game against the Connecticut Sun.
She's white, and she's the golden girl that's considered the marketing savior for the sport.
Now, you would think that this is simply a typical foul and that it's not a huge problem. Well, let's look at it from a different perspective and see what's happening. This camera angle makes it evident that Carrington's foul was not an innocent error.
Caitlin Clark's trying to pass the ball in the first 2 minutes of the game, and this woman swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernails and jab them right into the eye of Caitlin Clark.
Take a look at those fingernails that are aimed for Caitlin's face.
In no way does somebody's arm go from this situation into someone's arm. Like, that does not happen. Like, look, that very, very, very unlikely to be.
This is a significant problem. Could it be that Carrington had a strong desire to make Caitlin's eye black?
The hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shot. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down. It is what it is. She's not the first. She won't be the last. My issue and my question is, where the f are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is a team. She's the star. You always protect your star. I was someone who protected the stars. Cole, CP, Blake, list goes on. It's going to be a problem because you guys are supposed to be a family.
And the issue doesn't end here. It's absurd that the match referees didn't even call out this foul.
No foul call. No refs stopping the game to go, is this a flagrant? None of that. Just everybody moved on.
Can you believe that a star player like Caitlin was singled out by her opponents to prevent her from qualifying? They didn't have the courage to play fairly, so they had to use dirty tactics to exact revenge on a rookie who was playing in her first playoff game. This incident isn't just about Dijonai Carrington and Caitlin Clark anymore. It raises much bigger questions, such as why the WNBA referees didn't call a foul and other player safety concerns.
Star, your meal ticket, the reason why you have relevancy, just got stabbed and assaulted and nothing.
But why did Dijonai Carrington commit such a terrible foul? Was it driven by pure hatred or by a competitive spirit? Based on her past, it appears that she was influenced by other undesirable factors.
Dijonai has a history with Caitlin Clark, like many of these girls in the WNBA, but she's at the top of the list along with Kennedy Carter in Chicago and Angel Reese.
Before the playoff game, she was also observed referring to Caitlin Clark supporters as the nastiest in the league. When questioned about the tweet, she didn't bother to clarify what she meant.
And a few weeks ago, you tweeted that the Indiana Fever have the nastiest fans in the league. Do you have any message for them going into this series?
No.
Additionally, Carrington's antics against Caitlin were negative from the beginning. It seemed as though she wanted to exact revenge on this player who might ruin the game before Caitlin could do so. Nevertheless, Carrington chose to ruin Caitlin instead. Just look at her making fun of Caitlin during a game. It's obvious that Carrington wanted to foul her opponent. Unfortunately for Clark, Carrington got away with it without receiving a single foul or official warning from the officials.
Dijonai is one of these people that has a real problem with Caitlin Clark.
This regrettable occurrence also affected Clark's performance. She revealed what transpired during the game to the authorities following the post-match conference.
Got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best.
By her own admission, she felt that her performance in the game had not done justice to the form she had been playing in thus far. Her entire game plan was disrupted by the foul, and she was unable to play her typical game from extremely accurate passes, Steph Curry-like throws, and her amazing dribbling. Everything we are supposed to see in a Caitlin Clark was ruined by a small foul committed by Carrington.
It didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but it is what it is.
Even yet, she refused to blame her attacker for the comparatively subpar play. Rather than lamenting, she took a little break on the bench and persevered by providing 8 assists for her side. This demonstrates how professionally Caitlin Clark plays for her team. She doesn't want to compromise her value through arguments and justifications. Instead, she wants to improve herself rather than place the blame elsewhere.
Clark is not a punk, but she's also smart enough to know fighting some angry black lesbians, not her job, and it would lead to a collapse of the...
Why do these WNBA players have such long fingernails?
Nails, and these nails, I've seen worse nails than this in the WNBA. This is a safety hazard. Having nails that long, and they're longer than this now. Nails like that are a safety hazard to play.
I don't really get the purpose of having these large nails at all. Look at these fingernails. Do they look like professional players? At this point, the players are attempting to look more like pop artists and rappers than real basketball players.
These long fake fingernails that stabbed her in the eye. Do you think that had any impact on the game?
Her coach Christie had to devise a strategy to salvage the game after Clark was struck by the opponent, putting her team in a terrible predicament and ruining her arduous training for the playoffs.
Excusable, and Dijonai Carrington needs to be suspended for Game 2.
Considering that the Indiana Fever haven't made it to the playoffs in over 8 years, you can only imagine the strain Clark and her squad must be under after their best shooter had one of her eyes pierced.
Pretty animated and got a technical foul early in the game, and Caitlin mentioned in her first answer about the refs, so is that something you can talk about?
However, when Coach Christie failed to call out Carrington's foul during the game, things took an unexpected turn.
At the end of the day, it's not about the officiating tonight, for sure. We've got to be better defensively.
Are you able to believe this? Rather than acknowledging that Dijonai Carrington's foul was inappropriate, she begins blaming her own team's performance. It's clear that Clark's game began to deteriorate immediately following that foul. The squad was playing well until everything went awry.
The side seems to refuse to call out the referees. Now that everybody has seen one of the alternate slow motion footages of Dijonai Carrington trying to poke out, like literally AEW, WWE poke out Caitlin Clark's eyeball during that game yesterday, and the ref's not saying a damn thing about it.
You would think Caitlin Clark would receive greater security, especially because she is obviously the premier player.
Not getting some calls down low that she probably should have. But at the end of the day, it's not about the officiating tonight, for sure.
That's her face. That's the part I wanted you to hear. She said it's not about the officiating. And Caitlin clearly is not thrilled with that. That she cut the side eyes right there.
And really, where is Catherine Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, in all of this? Why hasn't she come forth to address this mess? Fans and players are completely fed up with referees ignoring obvious violations like this. This is not the first time that people have voiced their displeasure. There has been a lot of talk about the persistent inaction.
You've got a lot of people that are calling out Christy Sides today going, why will you not speak about this kind of stuff?
Fans are going crazy, and you can't really blame them. How long are we going to put up with these unjust accusations being ignored?
I don't want to see a bunch of tatted up, angry lesbians do rollerblade on a basketball court. I don't want to see it.
Come on, if WNBA officials want to prevent the league from collapsing, they should at least take some action against Dijonai Carrington's horrible foul. As I demonstrated, she doesn't appear to be disturbed by it at all.